Hi everyone, Esme here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss my most used Oracle decks of 2020. So let's get started. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and left a comment. I really appreciate it. Some of you have left some great ideas that we'll definitely work on in 2021. So to begin, this is the Hedgewitch's Field Guide Oracle deck. And I bought this because it was one of those YouTube made me buy it situations where I saw everybody talking about this deck and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I want to check it out. Well, I really do like it, but I don't think it's a must-have, and let's discuss. So what I like about this Oracle deck is the imagery. I like that it's black and white. I like that it's hand-drawn. I like that it's minimal because it pairs nicely with other tarot decks. And that's how I like to read tarot decks and Oracle. I like to read them together. It has a beautiful Oracle guide. It's very big and it's got large images and ample text. Now, what I don't like about it is that you have to find the meaning of the card by the plant name fern, not by the keyword growth. And if I don't use this deck in a while, I find that hard to remember and I forget what to look at. And so it's kind of annoying when you have to flip through multiple times just to get the meaning. The second thing that's not my favorite is that, this is, I'm assuming, geared towards hedge witches or green witches, and that's not what I subscribe to, so I think I'm not the right audience. So it comes with this book has like a really nice picture, and then it comes with a lot of information on really nice paper. My problem with it is that it talks a lot about the plants itself and then just gives you sometimes a little tiny bit about the keyword. And while I think that's probably helpful for people who are green witches or into botanicals, that's not me. So I really find that this is not, it's not useful for me, but like if you're diving deep. It's not useful if you're diving deep, but if you use it like I do and just for the keywords, then I find it very helpful. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So the next deck I used a lot was Magickal Herb Oracle. And this was actually a surprise because I really found this to be useful. I didn't think that I would enjoy it in the beginning because the colors are kind of brown and I like either minimal or I like really vibrant. And I didn't think I would be able to find use for it, but I actually ended up really liking it. One of the things I really enjoyed is that not only do I like the artwork, they have these key symbols in the back that I don't know if it picks up on camera, but like this is soothe. And then it has a cup of tea there, and I just kind of like it. It gives you more to work with. Also, what I like about it is at the bottom, it has a number, and then it tells you what the plant is. So you can look up the meaning very quickly. So here's the book, and I really like this too because it starts off with the oracle meaning, so you get everything that you need, and then it goes into the botanical descriptions, and then it gives you some magical correspondences if you're into this, and spells and everything else. So I feel like it targets a wide range of audiences, so you can have it suit whatever you need to. I like to read it for personal or for friends, and I just like to see what the energies are, so that's as deep as I go. But if you like to go deeper with it, you can, and I find that really interesting. Also, because it's neutral, I think that it goes with many decks, especially if you're a kind of person that likes fantasy decks. I think this would go with it nicely. And when I say fantasy decks, I mean tarot decks. So I give this thumbs up. I think if you're going to pick an herb oracle, if you're like me and you need it just for an oracle meaning and you're really using this for personal energy work, I suggest this one. I think if you are into plant witch work or green witch, or you just want something more, I think it's a toss-up between the Hedgewitch and this one, and it's more about aesthetics at that point. Okay, on to the next one. It's so funny, I didn't realize that I had that many Botanical Oracle decks, but maybe because I didn't get to travel as much and go outside in 2020, so I brought it inside. So the next deck that I did use was the Botanical Inspirations Oracle deck, and I really enjoyed this one. This one I feel like you can just use as is. The thing I didn't enjoy is the box. Let me show you that. So here's the box. I don't know why. It just doesn't thrill me. It works perfectly fine. I think it looks like invitation cards, so maybe that's why it's not my thing, but it doesn't matter. I really like the Oracle deck. What I liked about this deck is that it has the keywords, like a few keywords on the card, and it has a nice inspirational quote. So you can use this for like to start the day, things you should focus on. You know, if you like to do journaling, you can really write down the quote and really think about what that means to your life. And I feel like it's a good self-care deck. And with this one, here's the book. You find what you need, the information by the flower title. And then it tells you the symbolism, the quote again, and then some information about it and an inspirational message. So I really enjoyed that one. Plus, I like how it's vintage looking. And if you love vintage Victorian drawings, this one's for you. So the next deck that I absolutely loved in 2020 was Sacred Destiny Oracle. I loved the aesthetics. I loved how it paired with tarot decks. I loved the keywords. It just hit everything that I needed this year in working with tarot and oracle together. So first, the imagery is beautiful. It's very serene. It's interesting. There's a lot to look at. I feel like you could really just have a whole spread using this deck and get messages that you need. For example, like pleasure. You know, what does this mean when you look into it? There's a beautiful garden scene, and there's a set of stairs, and we as the audience are right here. You know, what do we need to do? Do we need to let go and just be free and walk through? It's kind of like, is this us walking into 2021 through the arches into peace? You know, are we preventing ourselves? Is something right around the corner? So it's just really emotive, and I really appreciate it. Also, it's really nice. I like the colors. They're not crazy. It's very soothing. So for me, I like to look at certain decks or tarot at certain points of the day or certain emotional states. And this one just is enjoyable in general. I also like the book. You look at it by its keyword, and it's very big, and it has it gives a little description on what it means, you know, the meaning of the card. Oops, sorry. And then, it gives you the oracle meaning, like the sacred landscape wants you to know and what you're supposed to get out of this. So it's really pleasurable. I think this is kind of like you can blind buy this, I think. I think you could just pick it up from, I bought everything from Amazon, by the way. You could pick it up from Amazon and know that you will enjoy it. Or if you want to give it as a gift to someone, and whether they're new or advanced, I think everybody will enjoy it. So this is the Sacred Destiny Oracle. On to the next one. So a surprise hit for me was the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. You may have seen this in another video that I did about the favorite Oracle and Tarot pairings. I think it's my previous video, and I will link it if I can. This one I loved. I did not think I would. I saw it on a channel by, I think her name is Lisa Papes. It's, oh goodness, I forgot her name. Her YouTube name. I will try to put it below, but I love her channel. It's something like self-care, soothing tarot. I'll look it up. But she did a review on this, and I thought, oh, let me try it. And I actually really loved it. I think I loved it because 2020 was difficult. There was a lot going on, you know, globally, nationally, even civically, and then personally, and then doesn't matter where you are with your job, whether you lost one or you still have it but you're working from home. All of it was just uncomfortable and difficult at times. And I think this deck really delivered messages accurately, but with joy. So like it didn't mince words, but it wasn't brutal, and it was very, very accurate. So I really recommend this one if you are in a place where you need something softer. You don't need a punch to the gut to tell you what's wrong, because you know what's wrong. You just need somebody to kind of like hold your hand through it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the book. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is what I did. Dope, sorry. Trying to get fancy here. Look what happens. So I really enjoyed the book. I loved the cards. I wasn't sure about the artwork. I actually really loved the artwork. And let me show you the book. So when we look at the book, it shows you, you can look it up by the number and the name, which I really like. I realize that about myself, that if I have to have something that I have to look into, and that's like Oracle cards. Oracle cards, you have to look at the book most of the times because, you know, it's a different system each time. So I liked the book. It told you like information about it, and it gave you like also a little bit of divination. So I don't know. I just feel like this was a feel-good, completely accurate surprise hit of 2020 for me. And if you're looking for some whimsy, definitely add it to your arsenal. I think you would be surprised. Oh, also, the author of this is Priestess Moon. Please forgive me. I don't know who a lot of people are, so, but I know she has other decks, and there's a little small one that corresponds with some of the information that you see here, some of these symbols. So check it out. I got on Amazon, and it was great. So yeah, 2 thumbs up for me on this one. Queen of the Moon Oracle is another one of those decks that I think you can just pick up and do a full reading and get the exact messages that you need to know. I also just picked this up on Amazon because it had good ratings, I thought, and the imagery looked nice, and I thought, oh, why not? Oh, and this year we were having like a lot of eclipses, full moons, all these different things happening in 2020 with the celestial state in the solar system. So I thought, oh, this would be good to kind of tie into what's going on in the world or what's going on in the universe. So I picked up this one, and I really enjoyed it. I think this doesn't need to be paired with a tarot deck. I think it could be used on its own. I like the imagery. It's got no borders. It's got full color images with keywords, and it tells you the phase of the moon. And you find the information that you need in the guidebook by the numbers, which I really appreciate. Also in the book, what I like is that, like I said, you find what you need here. You know, you look at the number, the corresponding number. It's got a little color image, and it just gives you everything that you need to know about the meaning of this card. It also gives you some spreads, and I used to do it in the evenings, and I found it to be very helpful. So I highly recommend this one if you're into moon work or want to try something, in my mind, a little bit more fantasy, otherworldly. I don't know, I thought it was good, and it stands on its own, and I appreciate that. On to the next one. So the next deck is the Starseed Oracle, and I have, why am I vacillating? I liked this deck, but I didn't love this deck. I really liked the aesthetics. I think the photo collage is beautiful. I like the coloring, and I like the keywords for the most part. I found that sometimes it went in a direction with the keywords that didn't vibe with me. So, for example, I'm just making this up here, but big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Well, if you don't know what Pleiades energy is, then will it resonate with you? I don't know. I feel like they could have just stopped at big picture thinking and left everything to the guidebook, so that if you didn't want to use the guidebook, you could just get the messages you needed to get from it. So, I don't know. I loved it. It's good. I think that, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about this one. It's got a nice book. It's got a black and white image. It's alphabetical order, how you find what you need, and it gives you the information that you need to know. So I think it's nice. Do I think it's a must-have? No. I said that so quickly, geez. I mean, I'm happy I have it, but it doesn't, for me, this is for me, it doesn't spark the depth that I need. I don't always want to use it. So I think I find that interesting. Now, I probably need to give it more of a chance, but it had so much hype around it, and I think I'm like the queen of Oracle FOMO, and I think I'm missing out on everything, so then I get it, and then I'm like, I don't get it. So it could be that I'm the wrong audience for it, or I just haven't worked with it enough, or maybe it's just not for me fully, and that's okay. So anyways, this is the Starseed Oracle. I think if you see what you like if the images speak to you, and if you're someone that doesn't mind having extra information because this totally resonates with you, I think you'll love it. And if you want something for your collection because you like Danielle Noel artwork, then I do recommend this one. It's nice. And finally, this is the Messages from the Light meditation deck. I really liked this Oracle deck because it was just sweet and simple. I mean, the images, big nice squares, big words. You're really just using this to get keywords. And then, this is something I feel like I would have to pair with a tarot deck to get deeper meaning just by looking at it. But this is something that I have heard that people who own this deck will pull out a card and put it on their nightstand or their desk for the day and just look at the word, look at the messages, and just kind of let it resonate within. And I think if you're into that, this is absolutely the way to go. Also with the book, it's very simple. So you're not going to get something deep out of it, but it does give you some information on the meaning behind the card. But this one is very you are putting your own words and energy into what this means to you. It's not giving you, the author isn't telling you what it means. You almost have to tell it what it means. And that's where I think pairing it with tarot probably helps. Or like I said, if you're someone who meditates and just wants keywords to really think about, celebrate, as we head to 2021, and you see this. I mean, do you need to know much more than that? I think you can infer from these cards what you need to do, So I highly recommend this one. It's very calm. It's very minimal in the wording, the text words that it gives you, but I think the imagery, the artwork, the colors, and the keywords are very useful. And if you like to pair tarot and oracle, I I think you would really enjoy this. And that's it for this video. I hoped this helped you in some way, at least to make some decisions on what decks you are interested in for 2021. Please, 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 please share with me your favorite decks of 2020, because I'm always looking for new inspiration, new decks. So leave it in the comments below what I should be checking out. It can be indie, it could be on Amazon, mass market. Let me know, because I'm really interested. I will also be doing a video on my most used tarot decks of 2020. And I'm also thinking about doing a video on some of the decks I own that I didn't really use in 2020 that I would like to use in 2021. If you have other video ideas you would like me to create, please leave them in the comments below. I find what you guys write to be very insightful and helpful. Especially because I'm a new channel, so sometimes I'm like, I don't know what people want to see. So tell me what you want to see. I'm excited to make it for you this coming up year. I hope you have a blessed 2021. May we all find peace together and good health. And I'll see you next video. Thank you so much. Bye.